Hello everyone, and welcome to Electric Scooter Repair 101. Today I'll be showing you how to install a V3 upgrade kit into an Apollo Phantom. Let's get started. This is the Mach 1 upgrade kit. It includes one XT90 to two XT60Y connectors, one quote-unquote instruction manual, which is really just a diagram of the controller and the connectors, a thermal pad, the controller, a new display, and a new throttle and brake with a built-in turn signal. If you're considering buying an Apollo Phantom, I recommend that you buy it from Fluid Freeride, as they're the only company I'm aware of with a strong warranty and the shops and mechanics to back it up. Keep that in mind. First, loosen the deck screws by hand with a 3mm Allen key. If you strip even one of these out, you're going to make this job a lot longer. Once you have the deck opened up, I'm going to peel these little plastic spacers out of my way. I'm going to take the battery out, disconnecting both of the main leads as well as the charging ports. Be sure to put the battery in a safe place. Then I'm going to basically unhook everything else. This voltage regulator that used to power all the lighting is going to go. I'm going to cut these zip ties. I need to remove the headlight. Separate all these Joulet connectors. When you're separating these connectors, it's important to hold them by the connector and not by the cable, because you'll probably break it if you're yanking on the cable. If you can't get them apart, you can use a heat gun, and usually if you soften up these connectors with a little bit of heat, they'll come apart very easily. Now I got to remove both of the handle grips, and I'm going to remove the clutch that holds the handlebars in place. Now I can loosen up the brake levers and slide them off of the handlebar without having to disconnect the hydraulic brake line. With a 2mm Allen key, I can loosen this set screw, and I'm going to slide the old throttle off. We're not going to need these anymore. You can take those off and throw them away. I'm going to slide the new throttle into position, slide the brake lever onto the other side. These have a similar set screw, but it's hidden by this rubber cover. Slide both brake levers into place. Now I'm going to remove the display, install the new display, add the handlebars back on. Now one problem I have with these is the wire on the new display is not quite long enough, and it won't reach into the wire running down into the controller. I'm going to loosen up that wiring harness, cut these zip ties, and expose this main wire so that I can give myself just a little bit more slack, and then my connector fits nicely. Don't forget to reattach this strain relief. It's important that when you're reconnecting these Joulet connectors that you pay attention to these little arrows that are printed on the connector. They need to be pointing directly at one another. If they're not aligned with one another, you're probably going to damage the pins inside of the connector. Reconnect all the wires. They've made a little label on here for which one the throttle is. That's the only ambiguous connector that could go to some other place. Otherwise, they've done a pretty good job of making it impossible to put anything in a mismatched way. The same is true for the controller. They did a pretty good job of building all the connectors and such in a way that it's impossible to get anything wrong. At most, you might get your turn signals mismatched, but you can't really blow anything up here unless you connect your new display to your old controller. So just make sure you follow the order of operations as I've laid them out in this video. But if you start by connecting your new V3 display to your old controllers, it's going to blow it up and there'll be no upgrade kit for you. So don't do that. Another thing of note is that with this new controller, it does away with the dual single motor mode and that switch as well. So from now on, you're going to be dual motors all the time. If you'd like to see a video on the ins and outs of all these different connectors where I go in depth with it, leave me a message in the comment and I'll make that video. But I really thought it was kind of obvious enough. So just look at the diagram, look at the wires, and I'm pretty sure you can figure it out yourself. All right, so now I'm just checking that the scooter turns on and the left blinker makes the lights on the left side of the deck blink, and the right blinker makes the right. Another thing to note here is that you'll no longer have running lights on the deck. I suspect maybe there wasn't enough current supplied by the new controller to just have them be running lights. All they do now is blink. Now we're going to take this thermal pad and we're going to sandwich it between the bottom of the controller and the deck. This pad is a thermal compound that helps heat transfer from the controller to the body of the scooter, and ideally it helps prevent it from overheating. So it's kind of important. With that done, I'm just going to reconnect the charging ports. Make sure all these cables are out of my way. And I'm going to slide this battery back into place. It's really important that the battery is not sitting on top of any wiring or anything else. It should be sitting flush along the bottom of the deck. I'm going to massage all the cables into place and install these sticky pads to hold everything down. Reinstall the deck cover. And that's it. We're all done here. If you've made it this far, help me out and give this video a like. If you're interested in learning more about electric scooter repair, subscribe to my channel because I've got a lot more scooters to fix around here. You're going to want to stay tuned for more Electric Scooter Repair 101.